to keep on loving who you love, who you still dream of, and who made the decision that mornings were for leave instead of waking up to forever in your arms, while everyone's out searching for the next high to be on. We'll stay up all night long, put on that same old song and dance. Hey, Inspired Tribe, how's it going? Welcome to the Inspired Livestream right here on the Inspired channel. My name is Jean Nolan. This is Kristin Nolan today on the other side because she's on her way out, almost out of here for today. Won't be with us on a live stream today, but Tribe.
But I'm sending hugs and kisses.
And she's sending hugs and kisses. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. It's a mantra, it's an affirmation, something we're speaking into existence. You know how this works. Repeat after me. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. And it is Tuesday, August 24th, 2021, WON. And we're excited that you're here. What?
We won.
We won. We won. It's a winning streak. So let me see who's here today before we dive into today's topic. I saw Illy is here. Wayne is here. Welcome. Pure Water. Wonderful to see you. Carol, so good to see you. Please wake up. What a great name. Hey, you've been reading my mind. Please Wake Up is here from the Netherlands. Then we have Charles Ponzi. Wonderful. Elise Bennett. We have Kathy. We have Cosmicality. Really cool. Hey, Frank, how's it going? Steve is here. Black Sky, welcome. Black Sky, the ambassador of the like button, is here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have Landuik. I hope I'm getting this right. If I butcher your name, please forgive me. We have Sunshine Education from the Czech Republic. Wonderful to see you. Linda, the Graham. I think I said hello, Carol. Dr. Burr and Labusisto. Well, I probably butchered that. So it's very good to see you guys. Thanks for being here with us today. It's a good day for a very, very beautiful and important topic. Hey, Cynthia, Michael, Wilfred, from Cape Town, South Africa. Well, this is kind of one of the most beautiful things we get to see when we go back into we have this studio app that allows us to see some of the stats and insights on the videos and live streams. And one of the cool things is, of course, I don't get to see who exactly is, tuning in, but I get to see from what countries. And the list is growing and growing. And it's so beautiful to see that the tribe is spreading all over the place, all continents. And it's just beautiful. And we welcome you all. We love you all. And today, it was an intense live stream yesterday. We all felt it, and lots of beautiful comments, emails, and reactions. I think it touched a place in our soul, all of us, not just you, me too, and triggered something, a beautiful thought process and a beautiful feeling process. So, what it's really all about, what we all really want in life, what you really want in life. And so naturally, Olga, thank you so much. Thank you for this beautiful contribution. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I see that up there. This whole journey, not just the Inspired Tribe journey, this whole life journey, this whole universe journey. I mean, we every now and then, I know we all do this. We sit down, some of us more often, some of us not that often. Maybe we sit in a favorite spot in nature. Maybe it's on the beach, feet in the sand. Maybe it's somewhere on a rock, very earthy place. Maybe it's underneath a tree. Maybe it's just in your favorite chair. And kind of having this overwhelming feeling or the question, what's this whole thing about, Not just right now, not just my current circumstances, but what do we all really want? And the answer, as easy as it is, it's become such a complicated, misunderstood thing. But truly, what it all comes down to is we all want love. This is the from the baby that has just arrived here, just come here and just beginning to open its eyes and open its senses, and the first instinct and it really, this love. I just want love. And as we have seen so many times before people transition, at the end of their physical lives, it's the same thing, whatever was really important to them during their physical lives, whatever was really, the focal point and, success, validation, money, materialistic stuff, admiration, status, all those things, they fall away completely. And at the end, it's really love. Once again, love, just love. And so while this is the most simple and basic thing, it's also has become a very difficult and overcomplicated thing for so many people. And we want to talk about love today and demystify it, because through pop culture, movies and stories and novels, TV shows, and the constant repetition, we have a very distorted view of what love is. And I want to say that if you tend to have a more poetic view of things, you might say, well, love is a mysterious energy that shows up one day, stays and sticks around for a while, and then it just leaves. But I happen to believe it is not so. I think that love, the vibration of love, the energy, the frequency of love is what our cells, what our whole being vibrates at when we are balanced, when we're aligned, when we're truly who we were meant to be. And what makes me say that is that my own life experience, and there's no love to find outside before you find love inside, and before you reach that destination within you. And it is not mystical. As a matter of fact, that's the base. I mean, people will usually not say this, some of them, but when people come to us and seek coaching and seek guidance, seek healing, seek expansion, they have very different goals. Some of them, some want more success in life, some want more balance, some want, be healthier, some want a different job, moving somewhere else. So the descriptions of what people desire in life are very colorful. But it all boils down to love. What they really want to feel is love. And love is also unconditional in its true nature. It is fully accepting in its true nature. It is that which all is truly made of. I think what we have done with our disconnection from it, from all that is, what we've done is we've disturbed this energy. We keep disturbing this energy in various ways. And when I say we, it's let's take us as humanity, as the human family, and we do those things. But I haven't met anyone who doesn't want to love and be loved yet. They might not say the words because they feel it's corny, it's cheesy, it doesn't fit their personality. Maybe it doesn't fit with how people view them, so they don't want to sound like they're softies. But everyone wants love, and everyone is. It's the most beautiful thing to watch people that receive love. When they allow themselves for a moment to receive unconditional love from someone else, could be a stranger, it activates the light within them. It allows them to shine and radiate for a moment. And this feeling is so priceless, cannot be bought, it cannot be replaced with anything else. And so I believe it's our... For most of us, it's one of the most cherished things in life, that we get to live love, that we get to share love with a partner in a beautiful relationship. And how to do that has become or is being portrayed as a big mystery, as it's luck, luck at best, and you have to work hard at it. The myths. You have to make compromises. You have to accept that, you know, you might never get to the full fruition of that love. All those things, I mean, there are thousands and thousands of books written about this. You know, self-help books about love, how to be in a relationship, how to deal with your partner, and all these things. And I've read some of them over the years because I'm interested. I'm interested what people say, what people think. And from my own experience, from our own experience, and from our beautiful, wonderful relationship that we live, we can tell you that 99% of what's written in these books, it's not true. I don't want to say that these people don't believe that. I do believe that, and I do believe it rings true to them. But it's not really what love is. And the unconditionalness of love begins within you. It's this acceptance of who you really are. And that's probably the biggest journey for most. And to realize that you are already have been given everything, that you already are everything, that there's nothing to add to it. There's just something to uncover, something to harmonize, heal again. And then you become that natural love magnet because you are love. And throughout my childhood, I remember, I just remembered this a couple hours ago. I remember that there was an assignment in school, and I still, you know, went to school during a time when we still wrote poetry ourselves and had to do that. So I remember very early on, must have been 8 or 9 or something, as the assignment to write a poem about anything you really wanted. I wrote a poem about love. And I remember it was my first conscious experience of guided writing. There's various different names for this, but what it meant was I was holding the pen, and things were coming through me, and I was just writing them down. I couldn't take credit for it. I didn't understand it. I just remember what it felt like. And then what I had written, I didn't evaluate it. I didn't judge it. It was a poem about love and what love is. And when I turned it in, it created a chain reaction that I just observed from the outside. I didn't really understand what was going on, but everyone was very kind of bent out of shape about it, not negatively, very positively. But the most common question I would hear whisper is, did he really write this? You know, how can an 8, 9-year-old kid write this about love? And I don't know what I wrote. I know that this poem made the rounds, and then, you know, my parents or my dad was called in, and I remember he would make copies and give it to people in his company, to his employees in his company. And it became a thing. And I don't remember what it said. And to this day, I don't think there's a copy left of it. What I remember is what it felt like. I felt this unconditional, grand, beautiful feeling that love was something that was bigger than anything else, bigger than the words we use, and bigger than all the other things and principles and rules that you know the grown-ups made up. And love felt bigger than the schedules that we had. And you know, I was always in a schedule as a kid. I would go from school to this lesson and then do this sports and do that. So, but I remember feeling love is bigger than that. Love is something that is so grand that we don't really grasp it, but it drives us. Our desire to live pure love drives us through life. It keeps us ignited. It keeps us going. It's the spark that keeps shining within us. And I want to go as far as saying that even within the human spectrum, that's what I can speak for, the human soul spectrum. I can't speak for other entities. I don't recall that experience, or maybe I've never had it. I don't know. But within the human soul spectrum, even the most misguided souls that are currently on this earth, human souls, I believe even their misguided actions are actually only to seek out, to experience love, or what they can grasp would resemble love. And when it comes to those relationships that we have, various relationships, but let's take the one that, through our lifetime will usually be the most important one until, Christine and I had 3 wonderful children that are now have relationships of their own. But the love between us isn't something that mysteriously appeared and we just lived our lives and then, it became less or it became more. Love is something that we do every day in many, many, many different ways, in small and big ways, in deeds, in words, in being together, in creating together. And the few really truly loving partnerships, relationships that I had the honor to observe outside of ours, all shared one common theme, that the 2 partners created a vision together. And the art of love has become completely lost in our society. It's nothing that we teach or get taught. No one teaches us growing up. We don't hear about love in school. If at all, we hear about the chemical reaction and the hormonal components that scientists call love. But we don't. Where do we hear that? Even in most religions today, love has a very small role. It's very not talked about. So how would we learn that? And Christine and I have simply allowed for love to guide us and to take that inspired action from that guidance that we received every day throughout our marriage and throughout our partnership. And it continues to expand in wonderful and beautiful ways. And it continues to, even though I can't imagine it, to grow. It's unimaginable when I go to bed at night to imagine that it could be bigger the next day, but it does grow, it does expand. And it's something that we do. And I've never seen a happy one or thriving relationship where there is not a shared vision, something that, is created together. And I think that's how it was designed to be, because the creation of life requires that. So the purest, most fundamental thing and the biggest thing that 2 partners do together, the creation of something new, requires both. I won't go today into any scientific or technological developments, because that to me is a whole different thing that doesn't fall into this realm of pure love. And so today, people fall in love, and that's usually based on an attraction, physical attraction, and of course all these chemical components play a role in that. And then that physical attraction, that initial, after a while, wears off. If it's just that, it begins to wear off, and then all kinds of weird things begin to happen between 2 people, because usually 2 people, they are in a relationship, but they live separately. They live separate lives. They leave the house, up until recently, would leave the house in the morning, go their separate ways, speak very little, come together. Then there's all kinds of necessities and errands to run. If there are children, then there's that component, of course, that takes up a lot of time, just the logistics, not even time really invested or spent together. And so these are 2 separate lives that are bound together by outer commitments, of course, a commitment in marriage, but then mortgages, contracts, responsibilities that 2 people have. And the time for love, the time for the relationship, the time for togetherness, the time for thriving together, the time for envisioning together, the time for creating together, simply isn't there anymore. And so people live these lives and settle, a lot of times settle. And I can't speak for everyone. It's just a lot of the things that we observe, and they settle for that because they don't know better. Somewhere deep inside of them, they feel there's more. But if they don't have a role model or have had a role model, and if they don't have something to learn from or someone to just observe, where would that come from? And so, because it's something that we all desire, not just the love between a man and a woman or the love between two partners, but we all desire to live a life that feels loving, at least most of the time, where that's the foundation. And so what we truly desire to teach every day is love in all of its forms, and love in all of the aspects. But the purity of love is that's what we are truly made of. And this is what is in the most raw way we see this in processes and in techniques that bring people into their pure heart or to the soul level. It's almost like a deep hypnosis when we do that kind of work, where people go so deep that their awareness in the now moment, they are aware of very little that's happening with their senses, and they're really in that deep hard place. And these processes usually we use to facilitate healing and forgiveness for past trauma. And when that forgiveness happens, when that healing happens, there's always a moment. We call it the source moment. When that happens, there's only love. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what the personality of that person is. It doesn't matter how angry they were when they came in. It doesn't matter how much hardship they've experienced. It doesn't matter what their story is. At that moment, all souls fall into this place of universal, unconditional source love, God love. And that is the most beautiful thing to experience and the most beautiful thing to see. It is completely unconditional. And what happens at that level is that, and we've seen this over and over again, unspeakable horror that people have experienced, trauma, abuse, pain, is forgiven instantly. There's no hesitation on the soul level. Because when we enter this state of unconditional pure love, that's that which we really are at the core, we have no revenge, violence, aggression, anger. We have none of that at that level. There is none of that. It's not that we can then overcome it. It's not present anymore. Now, I can't say that this is a state that I know anyone that lives in that state all the time of just pure unconditional love. But I do know a number of people that have made it their greatest intention to connect with that space as often as possible, and especially in situations where there might be conflict, there might be a potential for some sort of fight, where they connect with that. And this has been my mantra for so many years, that when faced with, being provoked or being in a situation that might escalate, and it happens very, very rarely. I mean, I can't even remember the last time, but that's the place that I connect to. And it gives me guidance that is so unusual for that situation, but always so very helpful and always so very healing for anything that's going on. And in this love space, we are immortal, invincible, most powerful, and unthreatened. That's probably the most beautiful thing to say. We're unthreatened in that space. And I believe our whole collective journey, as tumultuous, chaotic as it is in many ways, and it requires so many of our different qualities, but it's to come to that state and to create an environment for all of us where we can live that. And it is not mysterious. That's been our greatest takeaway from this, because so many people come to us and ask us or turn away from us because it's maybe something they don't have yet or live yet, and so then they feel they maybe can't stand to be in the presence of love like that. But But there couldn't be a greater inspiration than to show that and teach that and live that as much as possible. But I truly believe that when we heal our trauma and when we rebalance ourselves, the more we do it, the more we get into our natural state. And then that's the biggest thing. That's what people say the most. I want to find love. I want to find happiness. I want to find joy. I want all of those things. I want them in my life. And to them, it's something outside of them. They need to somehow acquire and bring to them. And what we're always saying, it's truly, and this is not metaphorically speaking, this is not woo-woo spiritual talk. This is who you really are. You are love, and you are joy, and you are purity, but you are also out of whack a lot of times, out of balance at times, in disturbance a lot of times. And so people don't feel it anymore. They feel all the other stuff. They feel the pain, or they feel the anger, and they feel the sadness. They feel those things, and they say, well, love is somewhere out there. It's somewhere, it's unattainable. But it really isn't. And the number one key is the healing part, to allow yourself to heal from whatever, and to allow yourself to forgive for whatever. And it's an internal process. And then your cells begin to vibrate at the natural level again. That's what healing really means. Healing doesn't mean I'm neutral. We're never neutral. We're humans. Healing means that we bring ourselves, our whole being, the visible and the invisible, to the vibration of love, which is our natural state. And because love is our natural state, and when we are in that state, of course, that's what we attract. That's what we pull into our experience more and more. And then these beautiful things begin to happen. And those beautiful encounters and the beautiful meetings and you tend to see this in people even when they don't see it. So you tend to see the beauty in someone that doesn't see the beauty in themselves. And just by approaching them in that way, just by speaking to them in that way, you help them find it. You help them feel it for a moment. Because with your love, you show them how special they are too, how wonderful and unique they are too. And so we've made love in our house. And when I say our house, I mean the bigger house. I mean the whole sphere that we get to be influential in. We made love the number one thing in that sphere, but love for ourselves. And now to that part that comes when that healing takes place. The love for God. God, the all that is God, the all that is awareness, that beautiful, most beautiful creative energy, the creator. And then you just don't love another human being. You love God in that human being, and I truly believe it's God, loving God through the human beings. It's a tremendous, beautiful experience. It's almost beyond words. It is beyond words. But that's what this turns into. And so many of those human rules that we make up don't apply anymore. It just becomes something different. And so in our family, in our house, love has always been the number one, the most important thing. It's been what has guided us, what has given us advice and wisdom. And it's what at the beginning, at the end of every day, was the most important thing. Did we make mistakes? Of course. Of course. We're humans. Are we making mistakes? Yes. Are we getting angry sometimes? Sure. We are human. But when that anger passes, those minutes of anger, we don't return to a neutral state or an okay state. It's usually returning to a really, really beautiful, wonderful state that's love. And it doesn't happen. It isn't a mysterious energy that just arrives. It is something that you decide, become, and make it the most important thing in your life. And why wouldn't it be? Because beyond anything, what is this experience really about? Why do we want anything? Why do we desire anything? Why do we want to buy stuff or travel places or any of the stuff that we do? We want it for the feeling of it. And fundamentally, there are only really two feelings, two pillars that are either love or fear. And then variations, but love or fear. And everything we do consciously, everything we do with our desiring mind, we do because we want to experience a feeling. It's not really the money that you want. It's how you believe you're going to feel when you have it. It's not really the travel destination. Even that which you see isn't really it. It's how you want to feel, adventurous or excited or interested or experiencing something new. But it's the feeling of it that you really want. And so wouldn't it make, and doesn't it make the most sense to dedicate our lives to love? Not to Hollywood love, not to, manipulative love, games love, not to sexuality love. And, we've so misinterpreted the sexual energy, just truly the love energy, the creation energy, completely misinterpret that and misuse it. Not all of that, but the real true love thing. And we're just beginning to remember in ourselves and through maybe wisdom from the ages that reappears, and maybe from things that we remember or take from the field, what that really is, what unconditional really means. And words can only go so far with this. This is one of those topics that you cannot bring to a final resolution. You can only point. You can only point towards it. And you can then only ask yourself, what would my life look like if I allowed myself? What would my life look like if I allowed myself to make love the most important thing beyond anything? And what is love for me? Just a few questions. I don't even want to go much further. I want to leave you with those questions. I want to encourage you to walk with those questions, feel them. How would you react to any given situation if you reacted out of love? What would you do and what wouldn't you do? What would you say and what wouldn't you say? And look, observe when you're saying, doing, expressing things. Is it from a place of love or not? Very interesting to observe. I also wanted to let you know that this is our 200th live stream, and we're actually celebrating another beautiful number. Those numbers are cool and everything, not really all that important, kind of like birthday numbers, not really all that important, not something we pay much attention to. But just so you know, we wanted to thank you for being with us. Some of you have been with us for the whole stretch, for all of the 200 live streams. Some of you have been with us for a little while. We love you all. We're all excited that you're here. And the journey has only just begun. When you tap into the goodness of life and feel a little bit of it, you naturally begin, it's like tapping your toe in the water and it feels really good. And then you put your foot in and you put your leg in and then you're up into the waist and then you just want to swim in it. You want to see how good the whole ocean of love and life can feel. And that's kind of what this journey is really about. And so that's a beautiful reminder. Love is what it's all about. And Greg Braden, one of the recent videos we shared, and it was so synchronistic. Because even the videos that find us and the topics that find us and the interview partners and all of that always is put together, is always in perfect timing. And so we had just in the past weeks, Kristin and I, with many clients, with each other, talked about the importance of the heart space and how there is a heart intelligence and how, we even talked about it in the live streams just a few live streams ago, how entering this space gives you perfect guidance. And then this video, with Greg Braden that we posted a few days ago that we made found us in that perfect timing. And Greg Braden is so eloquent in the way he describes things and so knowledgeable and, even from a scientific standpoint. So it's a beautiful synchronistic journey. that we love to be on, and we are truly honored that we get to be on this journey with you. So we just wanted to say thank you for 200 live streams, for expansion, for new ideas, and for all that, you know, we co-create here together. It's truly a amazing creationship. Some of the words we penned through word salads. So Tribe, thank you for being with us for 200 live streams, and we invite you to come back on Thursday for our second Q Thursday, Question Thursday, which we'll just show up, your questions, we'll answer to the best of our abilities and from the heart space, and we look forward to that. It was beautiful last week, and we just want to thank you. It's beautiful to be with you. We love you. It comes from here. We truly love you, and we'll see you on Thursday for the second Q Thursday right here on Inspired Channel, 2 p.m. Central. Be abundantly blessed.